Now, why was X-Men The Last Stand a complete mess? Now, I say this because they made, in my opinion, a huge mistake. Actually, they made three mistakes. They basically focused on two storylines. The cure for the mutants, which ironically comes from a mutant, and they focused on the Dark Phoenix storyline together. And those two storylines were too big to ever be together. They should have been separate movies. And they also completely messed up the Dark Phoenix storyline. Completely. So I guess technically it's two, but whatever. So yeah, in the movie, basically, there's a mutant child that has the ability to cure mutants. So scientists somehow managed to extract a cure for them. And it becomes publicly spread that by the news and all, that mutants can be cured. And then that causes a whole lot of problems because mutants don't think they have any problems and don't need to be cured. And regular people think it's a disease that needs to be cured. So you see a lot of unrest, and because of that, whether mutants should take the cure or should not take the cure. And because this cure's now come to light, Magneto wants to stop this from happening. So Magneto decides to start a war and try to get that child and to get rid of him, to make sure that no mutant ever gets his cure. So that's one storyline, which is arguably a good storyline. It had a lot of potential to see the two sides conflicting and trying to understand each other and fighting and all that. Where mutants would side, where the mutants are divided, where humans would side, where the humans are divided. When you could see sides forming, that would have been interesting. And then there's Jean Grey. Now, at the end of X2, Jean Grey was presumably dead, but in this movie she comes back. But sickly, she has the Phoenix Force inside of her now. And as soon as she comes back, she kills Scott, the man she loved, which is a bit extreme. And then she loses control of her powers and starts going rogue and on a rampage. And she ends up somewhere along the line siding with Magneto. Now I forgot how that happened, but yeah, this is a complicated movie. And the problem with that Jean Grey storyline is the Phoenix Force is supposed to be a universal cosmic sort of energy that's somehow sentient and immortal, and it's supposed to be super powerful, and it's connected to Jean because of her abilities. And in this movie we see her abilities are on another level. She completely incinerates everything, but still it's a disservice to the Phoenix Force. I mean, the Phoenix Force should have been a solo movie. You should have seen Jean struggling with the Phoenix Force, trying to control it trying to control her, but we don't see any of that. We just see Jean come back with the Phoenix Force. She's a completely different person, and we don't really see the visuals of the Phoenix Force. I mean, I think inside Jean there's some supposed to be energy coming out of her. We don't see any of that. So it's basically just Jean looking really pissed off all the time, and she could literally kill anyone at any time just by thinking of it. She could really incinerate people, so everyone's scared of her. And yeah, that storyline's completely messed up. And she ends up killing Professor Xavier, who tries to help her, which also seems like a complete waste to me. That shouldn't have happened. I mean, if anything, something that should be dragged out. And even then, I don't think Professor Xavier should have been killed. I mean, Scott being killed is already a little too extreme. But yeah, Professor Xavier gets killed, and then the mutants all fight each other at the lab where the boy is. We see a mutant civil war break out, We see Magneto showing up, and we see Logan fighting Jean, which is ridiculous, honestly. I mean, come on. Yes, Logan has super healing, so he's no longer stand up to him, but still, Jean could really throw him anywhere. And she's just stand there angrily pushing energy at him, and Logan's just walking towards her. Come on, man. No. The Phoenix Force can't be overpowered that easily. And we see Logan finally stabbing Jean to death with his claws. And that's also ridiculous. He shouldn't even be able to touch Jean. And we see during the war that Magneto gets shot with the cure and his powers are gone. Oh, that's honestly a little interesting. Magneto losing his powers and all. And that part of the story is okay. I mean, yes, it could have been done a little better. I mean, we honestly needed Charles at the end. We needed Charles and Magneto to face off. In whatever way. It was just confrontational talking, but you needed that, but that didn't happen. So that sucks. Because Charles is dead, because Jean and the Phoenix Force killed him. So, yeah, when you look at this whole thing, it's a complete mess. This is not how the movie should have been made. It should have been two completely movies, and the Phoenix Force should have been done better. It's a final level villain type of energy, and it should have given that kind of respect. And not just made into something that was inside Jean, just making her super powerful. So, yeah. That's why I think X-Men Last Stand was a complete mess.